Hell Husbands, Chapter 6, Love You More. Vincent grimaced as he paced nervously within his apartment. Alastor was supposed to have met him back at the apartment a couple of hours previous, but he hadn't shown up. He was suspicious that Alastor had gone on a hunt without telling him, especially since the man that had threatened him during the party had also disappeared from it around the same time that Al had. But this wasn't normal. He should have been back already. Eventually, he was too exhausted to remain awake, ever nervous that Al had failed to show back up. Vincent swallowed as he prepared the radio show for the day. Al hadn't shown up at work, and as the boss, he had to figure out what to do. So for now, he'd take Al's place and act as host until Alastor would come back up. Because he would show back up. He knew his jaw was slightly tense as he began the broadcast and apologized for the change in the show that would be temporary, because Al would return. He knew it. Alastor wasn't at his cabin. He hadn't even shown signs of being there recently either. He was missing, and Vincent couldn't find him. It was driving him mad. Vincent grimaced as he listened to some of his workers' gossip. It had been 3 days, and Alastor still hadn't returned. And now the others were speculating that maybe he had left to get a job elsewhere or something. But Vincent knew better. Something was wrong. Something had happened to his Alastor, and he wasn't going to rest until he found exactly what had happened. Vincent's breath caught as his hands shook. The fragile paper in his hands crumbled in his grip as tears collected at the edges of his eyes. A news article greeted him. It would be the one that the station would have to report on since it was hot off of the press. He'd gotten it from his assistant as usual so that he could prepare for the day's broadcasts, but this was earth-shattering to him. The headline directly stated that the beloved radio host of New Orleans had been found dead. Shot through the head and apparently dumped in the bayou. Murdered. His Alastor had been murdered. He couldn't help it as he released a roar of rage. His assistant peeked their head in through the door and winced at the complete anger in their boss's eyes and left again. Vincent sat back in his chair and gripped his hair tight. He wouldn't be allowed to see Al's body. He wouldn't be allowed to give him a proper send-off or anything. His love was all alone when he died, most likely. And now he wouldn't be able to honor him with proper mourning. It was his fault. He hadn't followed Al from the party. He knew that Al was perfectly capable and been handling things on his own for a while before they met. But he'd gone out on a moment to protect him, and it had ended with him dead on the very same night. No, this wouldn't stand. It couldn't. His Al could never be silenced. Ever. No, never. What was he supposed to do now that his love was gone, and all he could do was pretend that everything was all right? He steeled his jaw as he composed himself as best as he could. After all, the others could gossip all they wanted about their suspicions about he and Al's relationship, but they were always open about at least being good friends. He had a broadcast to do. He had to make his love proud and honor him in the only way that he could now, through his beloved radio. Alastor may be gone, but his passion would live on through him. It had to.